From news and views, issues and opportunities, we'll have in-depth conversations with decision makers to find out what they know and what they think. I'm Mai Rodriguez, sitting in for Rico Hizon, inviting you to join the exchange because your business is our business. Out with the old, in with the new. Most Filipinos are hopeful this year despite lingering challenges from the past 12 months. It's an opportunity to embrace better habits, from managing finances to indulging in healthy living. How are businesses helping achieve these New Year targets? The vision of health and wellness in our C-Suite vision. A recent survey by the Social Weather Station shows that 95% of Filipinos are facing the new year with hope, a level matching pre-pandemic times. We take a closer look at what this means with sociologist Ash Presto. Happy New Year to you! And this first question goes to you. Why do Filipinos remain hopeful about 2023 despite major challenges over the previous year? Like we faced rising fuel and food prices.
Well, it is often said that Filipinos are upward-looking people, and if things are looking grim now, then the only way is upwards, right? So, despite the things that are happening now, rising oil prices, rising prices of commodities, the Filipinos again are able to celebrate New Year together after 2-3 years of pandemic. And I echo what my sociologist colleague Jail Cornelius said, that hope is always collective. And since now we can experience New Year again as a collective, then we can definitely feel that we are all in this together. And because hope is also collective, we can also feel that we can surpass all these challenges together. And I think that's the main thing that keeps Filipinos hopeful this 2023.
Well, Filipinos are generally hopeful about the new year. The SWS surveys throughout the years showed that 9 out of 10 Pinoys were optimistic. So why do you think this is the case? Are Filipinos generally optimistic?
Well, Filipinos, it's a what do you call that? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's culturally said that Filipinos are very optimistic, we're upwards-looking people, we are one of the happiest people in the world. So whatever challenges you throw our way, we always find hope in it. And in 2022, we found a lot of hope, right? So even the elections, a lot of people supported their own candidates. Whoever won, hope was always a mainstay of the conversations in 2022, and for sure, even in the 2023.
74% of Filipinos said they would set New Year's resolutions. Would you say that as a Pinoys, as a culture, do we see the new year as a season of change?
We always see a lot of seasons of changes, and the 2020 and New Year is just one of them. In sociology, we have what we call necessary rituals, and New Year is a necessary ritual, and New Year's resolutions are necessary rituals for everybody. And I guess this ties well with hope as well, because if we set a New Year's resolution for us, it comes with the hope that this year, in 2023, we will be better. And I think one of the most important things about setting a New Year's resolution is that we get a chance to reflect about what happened in the previous year, and we get a chance to think about what we can do to make it better. So I guess it's a very hopeful, it's a very optimistic activity, and it's one of the core activities that we do as Filipinos. Again, it's a necessary ritual for all of us.
Well, also, 31% of Filipinos are making health-related resolutions. Is this a bigger number compared to previous years? And is this because of the past 2 years of the pandemic?
Well, I can't really talk about whether or not the number has actually increased, but what I can say is that collectively we have experienced health manifestations, health ramifications of the COVID-19 pandemic. And if anything, these health ramifications have influenced how we want our lives to be in 2023. So we had a lot of health challenges, and that's why looking back, reflecting on what happened in the previous years, this is what we want for 2023. A healthier us, a healthier community, and better health just for our loved ones and family.
Hopefully, a healthier 2023. And well, this level of optimism is now close to pre-pandemic levels, right? So would you say that for Filipinos, the worst of the pandemic is over?
Well, the worst of the pandemic, I guess, health-wise, may be over for everybody, but there are a lot of implications of the pandemic and consequences of the pandemic that we're facing now, like the economic consequences of the pandemic. So the rising oil prices, so Filipinos definitely have to have individual strategies, but not only that, these individual strategies will also have to be complemented with government strategies. So I guess we've talked about a while ago setting financial New Year's resolutions, but Filipinos should also, I guess, put in their New Year's resolution how they can partner with the governments and how the government can actually help them achieve better financial conditions in 2023.
Well, on another note, Ash, mental health concerns were exacerbated amid the pandemic. There was a lot of talk about self-care. I wonder how are people now? How are people coping?
People cope very differently is what we are sure of, right? So even in the social weather stations survey about hope, actually people who are less affected now by the COVID-19 pandemic remain more hopeful than people who were devastated by the COVID-19 pandemic. So since we experience hope differently, we experience different consequences of different challenges facing our country, then we also have different coping mechanisms or different strategies to deal with the challenges. So I guess what's really important is to find communities of care, communities that we can that can help us achieve our goals this 2023. Despite the fact that we have different goals, we have we are experiencing different consequences, and we need different coping strategies this 2023.
Right. Appreciate your insights, Ash. Thank you for this New Year's exchange, sociologist Ash Presto. And here's a rundown of the week's top business stories. President Bongbong Marcos has ordered the suspension of the scheduled increase in government health insurance premium rates and income ceiling this year, citing economic challenges caused by the pandemic. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation says this will not impact benefits. The national debt hit a new record high of 13.64 trillion pesos in November. The Treasury Bureau said this is only 3.15 billion pesos higher than October due to the peso gaining ground against the dollar. And the inflation rate, which measures the pace of increase in prices of goods and services, zoomed to 8.1% in December, the fastest in 14 years. This brought the 2022 average to 5.8%, way above the central bank's 2 to 4% target. And coming up on the exchange, where your business is our business, what should be the strategy when it comes to money matters this 2023? We speak to wealth coach Chinky Tan. And it's that time of the year when more people hit the gym, hoping to finally get in shape. How do we stay on track beyond the new year? We speak to health and fitness businesses later in the show. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. Glad you're staying with us here on The Exchange, where your business is our business. Saving money is often one of the top resolutions people make in the new year, but being wise with finances could be daunting without a game plan or guide. Let's have an exchange with wealth coach Chinky Tan. Hi Chinky, Happy New Year.
Hi there, Happy New Year, Mai, and to all your viewers and watchers.
Okay, first off, where should we start if we want to manage our finances better?
If we want to manage our finances better, it must start with your way of thinking, because your way of thinking will dictate your way of living. Wrong way of thinking, wrong way of living. Right way of thinking, right way of living. So it will start with renewing your mindset.
Well, what habits should we break if we want to manage our finances?
Number one, definitely we should manage first our what we can control, because there are two things that we can do. Number one, cut down on your unnecessary expenses. So I think at the start of the year, it would be very, very good to evaluate your spending habits and then your budget. Let's look at it. The common sense is you cannot spend more than what you can really what you are really earning. So the input should be bigger than your output. So that's number one. Probably cut down on the things like eating out, buying your favorite coffee or beverages, or if not, if you cannot afford to travel this year, probably you can just do a staycation. So that's number one. And number two, the second thing that you can do before you buy things, make sure you shop around. Shop around, look for the best deals and the products and services that you need. Or if not, consider alternative options. There may be more affordable alternatives, just like instead of buying a branded product, you may buy a generic one that can really help you out.
Okay, it's all about being practical, breaking bad habits, and changing your mindset, right? But what are some of the common mistakes people make when they begin their finance journey?
Number one, I would highly tell people it's not having a budget. A budget can help you keep your track of your finances and expenses. Every end of the year, if you ask this question, where did my money go? It means say that you don't have a budget. A budget is just a written plan where your money is going. Money coming in should be written down. Money going out should be written down. Number two, second money mistake of most often is not saving for emergencies. I don't know if you have known some people who contracted the disease of COVID and then they got hospitalized and all of a sudden they have to do out of the pocket, and then it really destroyed their budget because they don't have emergency funds in place. And number three is not paying off your high interest debt. So it's very important, especially at the start of the year, with high increasing inflation rate, at the same time the pending global recession. It's very important that you must stay out of bad debt, specifically if you are you have house mortgage, car mortgage, specifically if you want to get out of credit card debt. And also number four, not investing for your future. Most Filipinos, they think short term. They have what we call the YOLO mentality. You only live once. So instead of investing in the long term, they invest in the short term pleasure. And last but not the least is not protecting your assets. Like for example, you don't have a health card, you don't have insurance. Just in case the unavoidable happens, it will drain all of your finances.
I guess that should be one of the priorities, right? Setting something aside for emergencies. Now, there is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to managing our finances, right? But how can people find a plan that they can commit and stick to?
First things first, I think it's important for you to have the right formula. The right formula is income minus savings equivalent to expense. Once you earn, the priority is set aside first the amount that you want to save. It's just like paying your tax. Once you get your paycheck, it's already net of taxes. So if you treat your savings as just like taxes, you'll be able to save the money. The strange part is this: when the income was small, it was enough. But when the income grew larger, it wasn't enough. As a matter of fact, some people even get out in debt. Because as the income increase, the expenses also increases. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't be afraid of what we call as the inflation that we are experiencing, which we cannot control. One thing that we should watch out is the lifestyle inflation, which you are in control.
Well, speaking of inflation, Chinky, it's the new year, but prices of goods and services are at their highest in more than a decade. Now, how do we save up and become wiser with money despite the inflation?
Yeah, there's a joke running around that it's better to invest in onions rather than in stock market or cryptocurrencies. So the first thing is, again, if you cannot cut down anymore on your expenses, you have to increase your income. That is the best way to fight inflation. That is the best way for you to save more money. So in terms of increasing your income, probably this coming year, you can start your own business. That's number one. Look for something that you can do. Number two, probably if you're saying, Chinky, I don't have any capital to start, you can probably sell your services, your expertise. If you are good in writing, you can write. If you are good in website design, graphics design, or let's say video editing. There are a lot of freelancing opportunities out there. And the most important thing for me for this year is learn how to educate yourself. The more you know about personal finance, the more you know about how to make more money, how to save more money, how to invest your money, how to grow your money, the more that you will make money.
Okay, finally, Chinky, we have very little time, so very quickly, any advice for people who want to grow their wealth outside their usual paycheck? I've read that it's good to have additional income streams, like, or you may start a business or invest in stocks. What would you advise them?
Yes, definitely for this coming year, I highly recommend if you have excess money, for people who have excess money, the best investment right now, I may be biased, but I will really go for properties. Property is the most conservative. At the same time, it's non-volatile. Ever since probably I've been in this world for over 58 years. And in my 58 years of existence in this world, the prices of property keeps on going up. Despite of the global financial crisis, the Asian crisis, the pandemic, the prices still goes up. So if you are interested, go into property, either rental property, leasing property, or probably if you want to resell property. Number two, I don't have much money to buy properties. Probably the next option that you can go is go to REIT, R-E-I-T. With just as much as 5,000 to 10,000 pesos, you can also earn from the property sector. Every year, when they earn money and dividend, they are required by the government to return 90% of their profit back to the investor. So you earn money from dividend from the leasing company, the publicly listed company. And then number two, once the price of the REIT companies appreciates in price, you also earn. So you earn twice. So the two things that you can look into, again, property or probably REITs.
Right, Chinky, thank you for the valuable advice. Thank you for this Money Resolutions Exchange. Wealth Coach Chinky Tan. Still ahead on the exchange, where your business is our business. Many New Year's resolutions are geared towards fitness goals for a healthy and happy 2023. We speak with Gold's Gym Philippines' Maylene Mendoza Dairit and Nutri Coaches Fia Batua next on CNN Philippines News You Can Trust. Welcome back here on The Exchange, where your business is our business. For some, a new year means a new lifestyle towards a healthier body. Filipinos with this mindset may resort to more workouts and nutritious options. How are they doing this with prices of basic goods still rising? Let's have an exchange with Gold's Gym Philippines President and CEO Maylene Mendoza Dairit and Nutri Coach co-founder and Chief Product Officer Fia Batua. Maylene and Fia, thanks for joining us here on the show. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you here. Well, let's start with Maylene. Of course, we all want to get fit and get back on shape. So are you noticing more people exercising in gyms as part of their New Year's resolutions?
Well, this January, yes, and that has been traditionally the case every year. So January is like the Christmas of the fitness industry. It is when anywhere from double or triple the number of people who join the gym happen. However, having said that, remember that we came from a pandemic, and in the pandemic, in the 2 years of the pandemic, the gyms were only open 6 full months, no? So, and it was only recently that the mask has been allowed to be removed while working out. So we are very hopeful, as we have been discussing earlier. So we are also very hopeful that things will change for the better. But if you're asking me if we're back to the pre-pandemic levels, no, not yet. No, but of course there is a remarkable increase this January.
Okay, well, we can certainly look at it as a fresh start for everyone. Fia, how does the new year motivate people to start eating right? And what does eating right mean?
So the new year often serves as a natural time for people to reflect on their behaviors and habits and to consider making changes that will improve their health and well-being. This can include adopting a healthier diet. So some people may be motivated to start eating right in the new year because maybe they want to lose weight, improve their overall health, or simply feel better. Others may be motivated by the fresh start that the new year represents. So they may feel more inclined to set or pursue new goals, including goals related to diet and nutrition. So, whatever the specific motivation may be, the new year can be a great time to make positive changes and to start eating right. So, what is eating right means? So, eating right generally refers to making healthy choices when it comes to food and drink. So, this can include choosing foods that are whole, that are nutrient dense, high in vitamins and minerals, low in added sugar, unhealthy fats, and low in calorie or moderate. So eating right can also involve eating a variety of food, a balanced diet, one that includes a range of different food from all different food groups, and that is appropriate for someone's age, gender, and physical activity. So the summary for specific strategy to eat right is choose healthy, whole, minimal processed food, read the labels, be mindful of your portions, planning ahead so you know that you'll make healthy choices and limit the intake of alcohol and sugary drinks.
Well, less processed foods, more whole foods, right? Now, Mylene, let's talk about the business going into the new year. How are sign-ups, how's foot traffic and sales, and how do you see this in the coming months?
Okay. So relatively, only 35% beginning the post-pandemic, no? So 35% of our members came back. And out of of course, the reality now is you have to increase the number of newcomers using the gym, no? Well, it is really sad that a pandemic has to happen for people to realize that health is very, very important and fitness is very, very important. And we're talking about New Year's resolutions. 50% of people have resolutions of becoming more active, and 48% would like to lose weight. And then, of course, another 40% would like to eat healthier, no? And I would like to focus on the increasing the activity because that is very, very important. In fact, World Health Organization in 2018 launched the Global Action Plan on Physical Activity because it really needed to be increased. So the good news is that they say now that you can do this in installment. If you want 150 minutes to be at least at the base level of health, then you need to exercise moderately at least 20 minutes every day.
Okay.
And the good news is there are studies saying that if you can just make this like 2 10-minute sessions, one in the morning, one in the evening, or even do like a 7 minute before every meal, no? So more than anything, because we know in the gym industry, we know that people will come back, but before making a lot of them go back to the gym, they really need to start with the basics, which is really increasing the daily activity that they have, which could be anything like brisk walking, jumping rope.
Yeah. Yes, Mylene. Okay,
burpees, jumping jacks.
I get what you mean. We all have to get active, right? And Fia, I want to get back to you about eating healthy because we're facing soaring prices of fuel, of goods, prices of onions are high. Now, how can people eat right and eat healthy given that everything's gone up?
Yes. Food insecurity will still go up until 2030 based on the studies. But eating a healthy diet can be challenging when the prices of food and other goods are high. But there are actually tips that may help. So first, you have to plan ahead. Take some time to plan your meals and snack for the week. Make shopping lists based on your target meal plan and stick to it when you go to the stores. So planning ahead can help you make healthier choices. So buying in bulk can be a cost-effective way to purchase items like grains, yung mga common staple foods, beans, nuts, and certain types of produce. Buy seasonal produce. So fruits and vegetables that are in season are often less expensive than those that are out of season. So look for sales and discounts also for seasonal produce, and consider freezing or canning excess produce for later use. Shop around, compare prices, consider purchasing generic products to save money, as mentioned also earlier by Chinkitan. Grow your own food. If you have enough space, you can grow your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs. This can be cost-effective also way to add more fresh produce to your diet. And my number one tip, cook at home. Eating out or ordering can be expensive, especially if we do it frequently. Especially during the pandemic, ordering food was more frequent. But considering cooking at home more often, using ingredients that are healthy and budget friendly. And lastly, be creative. So don't be afraid to be creative in the kitchen. Maybe you can try using cheaper cuts of meat, incorporating more plant-based protein, not the commercialized, because these are more pricey, but the common beans, lentils, munggo into your meals, or using leftover ingredients from the holidays in a new more way. So following these tips may be able to help us eat more healthy even when the prices of goods are high.
There are a lot of options actually out there, right? Now, Mylene, final question goes to you. How is Gold's Gym promoting services amid the rising prices in commodities?
Well, actually, we've never increased our prices in the last 10 years. And talking for the whole industry, what has happened is we have kind of reduced our prices by allowing people to just be in the gym when they want to, which means that you can just pay on a per visit basis, or you can pay on a weekly, or just like what I'm saying earlier, just do it in installments, no? And just include other activities, daily activities that you can do in the neighborhood, at home, and just go to the gym to do the heavy lifting and things that you cannot do at home with what you have.
Okay, great advice from you both. Thank you for this health and fitness exchange. Gold's Gym Philippines President and CEO Mylene Mendoza Dairit, and NutriCoach co-founder and Chief Product Officer Fia Batua. And this is The Exchange. We make sense of the facts and the figures and the ups and downs of the business cycle, because your business is our business. I'm Mai Rodriguez, sitting in for Rico Hizon. Thanks for watching CNN Philippines News You Can Trust.